Hello my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading. I hope you're all doing really well, and I hope that this reading finds you in a good space. Now, this reading is about what you need to let go of. I thought this was quite an apt reading because we've just experienced the blood moon and blood moon lunar eclipse. We are entering into eclipse season, so the full blood moon and it being the lunar eclipse, it was just pretty intense. I felt some really strong energy shift, and I just wanted to do a reading based on that and see if it could help you on your journey. So, as always, we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile 1 with this gorgeous mica stone. We have pile 2 with this lovely rose quartz. And we have pile 3 with this beautiful carnelian. So, 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. What do you need to let go of? Timestamps will be in the description box below, my friends, and I'll see your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So, you chose this beautiful mica stone. Now, I did start this reading a couple of days ago, and I didn't like the reading. Not only did I not like it, I really was feeling tired. About midway through the reading for this stone and for your pile, I didn't feel good. So I just felt like I needed to just chill out and relax. So, excuse me, I started the reading again. Really interesting how I'm yawning. I always yawn a lot. And I think, is it because I'm tired? I haven't slept well? What's happening? And I kind of disbelieve myself when it's an explanation of energy. So there must be something that you are needing to let go of. I don't usually have that reaction. And I think, like, what's coming to my mind is that you may be satisfied with the way things are now. You might think that it's okay that they are the way that they are. And they may be forming like something quite pretty. This stone is incredible. I don't know if you can see, like, it's got these gorgeous, like, hexagonal kind of sections which it's grown. It's beautiful. Like this, I think this is the stone. I don't know if it's used in other makeup, like say for example in my nail varnish, but I know it's definitely used raw eye makeup. So I think they used to crush this, and they do crush it. Mica is very readily available. So, because if I was to look at this in sunlight, these bits, and I do have a bigger piece, this glows with a beautiful, that's a point actually, where is my bigger bit? It glows with like this beautiful rainbow hue. So yeah, that's a point. I had like a massive bit of this and I don't know where it is. Anyway, so, you know, there may be some things that you like about the situation that you're in. But then this might be the very thing that you need to let go of, you know. And that's interesting because like the other piece, which was like one of my favourite pieces of rock, and now I'm really curious and distracted as to where it is. That I don't know where it is. So it's interesting. Okay, so we've got 2 cards here. I do know what these are, but they're going to have a completely different interpretation, I think, today than they did the other day. And we have otter and whale, 2 animals that are very different from each other, but they are both aquatic animals. One lives in the water completely and one kind of is amphibious. It doesn't live completely under the water, but it does live in the water. It's an aquatic animal. But the whale is pretty much, well, they're both mammals, let's just say, but one lives actually in the water, the other one lives above and below it. So what I'm getting here is that there's this almost... The common denominator between these two animals is that they both need others. They need others of their species in order to survive. There is no way that they can be in this planet without other beings. So I don't know. I think, right, this stone gives me hermit energy. It gives me energy that, like, of clutter. It gives me energy of someone who has been used to doing things on their own, doing things their own way, doing things in a way that they, you know, that they're just used to doing. And what these two cards here are telling me is that there's a need to move beyond that. There is a lifestyle maybe that you're accustomed to, a way of living, something that basically encourages you to be solitary, and these two cards are telling me that you need to be with others in some way, shape or form. So I've got some other cards I started doing. So I've got your astrology here, and we have the new moon, which is new beginnings, planting seeds, setting intention, and blank page, but it's reversed. And it's ironic because we have a full moon. We've just had a full moon. This reading is timeless, but it's all about the energy and why it's reaching you. So in the respect of you and how you observe the energy at the time, it has nothing to do with the actual timing of the reading. It's more to do with when you find the reading. And then we also have lime, and that's fire. And then we also have Litsi, which is also fire. So two fire cards, but lime and Litsi. I just want to double check what Litsi is. I didn't have a look at what it is exactly. But both of them are fire. They're fire plants. And that means that they're active plants. Things that would involve some kind of like movement. Not only that, you've got two male kind of aspects of Gemini and Leo, and they're male. And then you've got Mercury and the Sun. That's like forward thinking. That's the, you know, the male aspect. Let's see. So it's a bit like lemon. Oh, that's interesting. It's a bit like lemon. And the book had some really nice things to say about these two things as well. It was very much about, they were together as well, because it's lime and Litsi, and they're both, let's have a look. Yeah, so lime is small minds discuss people, average minds discuss events, while great minds discuss ideas. So it's about opening the perspective rather than getting dogged down in the day-to-day kind of dealings and goings-on of people. And the Litsi was, you cannot have love and light without a little laughter. So this is all about having joyfulness and laughter, and that really ties in well with the otter energy. You know, the whale kind of attributes to the lime, and it's interesting because all the other, I don't know about these cards because I haven't drawn this for the other group yet, but these cards, you got two. And the whale really kind of goes well with the heart chakra energy of lime, because it's that whole thing of, you know, it's almost like the king of its actions, whereas this is the communicator, this is the messenger, whereas this is the king, the full sense of personality. It's interesting, you know, it says here like gossiping, rotten attitudes or vile thoughts create suffering. Stop blaming others for your current situation. Surround yourself with what inspires you. Are you aware of how inspiring you are and how many people are inspired by your example? Create happiness and honesty in your life as others, with others as well as yourself. Give equal weight to the heart and the mind, even if you feel defeated. Do not give up. Pass on unwanted possessions to someone who will benefit from them. So this is about baggage. This is about stuff that you are holding on to. And I honestly don't think it is just about... I think this is people, places, things. This is everything. And it's almost like there is something that's being stifled so that you can't create this energy which is wanting to break out with the new moon. And the medicine here is for you to remember that you do have this gravitas, and that does count for something. But then you also need to incorporate the laughter and the love and the lightness of play so that you can introduce more kind of... I don't want to say fairy-like, but it's more like lighter effervescent energy, if you know what I mean. So I hope that makes some sense. So let's continue. Okay. So the next cards, I think I'm going to do the tarot now. Okay. Okay, so we got the Seven of Swords to begin with. Didn't really shuffle it, but I was... Something said to me, just keep it with that. Okay, so what does my pile ones need to let go of? And then we have the Four of Swords. The Emperor reversed. The High Priestess. Okay, lots. This is all reversals. Interesting, apart from the Seven of Swords. So, I think this is ancestral. I always do whenever I see the Emperor reversed. I do feel like it's either some kind of like heavy male influence in your life or some kind of like father issue, one of the two. I know it's a little bit generic of me to think of that in terms of like a father issue, but I think there is something here. Either that or there's a dominating force which is not allowing you to express the High Priestess energy here. Because, and it's so interesting because we've got the otter and the whale. We've got things that are like, they're fully in water. They work with water. Water is feminine. But yet we've got like this kind of conflict that's happening. And I don't think it's just you know, I don't think that this ability to not let go of things is just down to you. I think this is because you've not been allowed to, you know, I feel like there's a thing where you've got to always keep on moving. You've always got to keep on doing. You've always got to keep on doing things. And keep the wheel turning. And it's interesting because, you know, when you think of like movement, you think of things not staying stagnant or still. But what I find is that in today's society, there are a lot of people that are kind of, and I'm guilty of this, okay? Like, people just buy, consume, get stuff, and then they find that they don't need it anymore. Or they never really needed that anymore. You know, hoarding, that kind of thing. And what it feels like is that there's been this, I don't think, it's ironic because up here I was thinking more about possessions and things, but down here it feels like it's more to do with the idea of how we cope with things and knowing that we can't cope with things in the same way in order to get something different. You can't do things in the same way wanting a different result. You have to change something fundamentally. There's that saying, what is it like, you know, doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. I don't know where that came from. There's like rumours it came from Einstein, but I doubt it. But it's, you know, I think there's this kind of like lack of honesty with oneself. It's almost like you're trying to get away with it. Like there's some kind of thing where you're trying to get away from this thing. And I think it's an ancestral patterning that's happening. And it's almost like I don't know, it's interesting. I see the High Priestess a little bit devilly, you know. The High Priestess reversed is like a kind of denial of the need to like abstain. Because the High Priestess is almost like a nun, you know. She's like a monk stroke nun. Well, she's not a monk, she's a nun, because she's the kind of cold, sterile female kind of archetype, which is why we've got a nurse here. But I think it's... but it's I don't think it's for the right reasons. And it might be that you're playing through something because you're trying to like maybe even avoid conflict. But you can't because it bothers you and you're trying to work through it. I think what's coming across here is the need to let go. You need to let go the need to be right. But it's not as simple as that at all. Like, it's almost like you have to let go of things that even if you are right, like, you're just going to have to accept that people are not going to see things in that way. How the hell do you manage that? Do you know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. And I think, you know, I think there's a part of you that thinks that because you are right, you can get away with some certain things. But actually, what you're doing is you're reinforcing the same behavior that was what made you like that in the first place. It's like some fucked up version of generational trauma, really. It's making me feel very uncomfortable because I know exactly what it's about. So it's like, oh, fucking hell. Like, oh, okay. I have to radically change myself in the respect of showing radical compassion to myself and abstaining from certain patterns of behavior that cause me to indulge in certain things, that cause me to indulge in the joy of like, and I'm not saying that people like conflict, but it's that whole thing of needing to be right. I was talking to someone actually, and I said, would you rather be right or would you rather have friends? And they said to me, I'd rather be right. Knowing that I'm right, yeah. And I don't know, I think he kind of missed the point. And my Mars is in Virgo, all right? So no dissing against Virgos, but like saying that to a Virgo, they're definitely going to say that they'd rather be right than rather have friends. I know all you Virgos out there are going to disagree and say, no, I prefer my friends, but I don't know. I think some of you would rather be truthful. It's the Libras that would rather be a little bit more kind of diplomatic. But I've got Saturn, Jupiter and Mars in Virgo. So I got heavy Virgo. And me being right is definitely a thing. I don't like not being right. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like I understand if I'm not, you know, I don't mind it. I take criticism, it hurts like hell, but like, yeah, I can take it. But that comes from like some kind of like patterning which I've noticed that maybe is exhibited on the male side of my family. So this is where I'm drawing from this example. It might be different with you. I'm just trying to see if there's a different example that's going on. But the Emperor's really strong here, and it's affecting the High Priestess in a way. Like it's affecting this female version, and it's not causing rest, it's unrest. It's not been able to rest. It's not been able to, and it's like a consistent kind of like It's trying to get away with behavior. I mean, what I would say in its like rawest form, and what I can see from here, it's generational. As I said, it's generational trauma, and it's like a kind of like trauma that's come on from the male side, where the male have been oppressing the female and causing the female to behave in ways which is quite rebellious, and then it's causing conflict. And it's because of this unrest here. Let's have a look with some clarification. And the only thing that's going to kind of heal this is the ability to play, to know that you don't have, like, you have to understand that, and this is really difficult when you can't, you know, they don't see you in that way. Like, so otters are very social animals, but how can you be social if the people that you need to heal with don't want to be social with you? It's very difficult. So how do you do that? How do you embody that? How do you do that healing? And I think what you do is you just have to embody these kind of aspects where you realize that humor is a big thing. Humor is going to be what is your medicine in this space, because maybe you can't do the things that you wanted to, which is where whale comes in. Like, whale is the one where you need to find your true family, but they're not like in big kind of groups, social groups. They are quite solitary. So there feels to me like there's this kind of staying out of the drama, understanding that laughter and joy are going to be your guidance system. So those kind of values stay steadfast, but then essentially you need to find your own tribe, and you need to find, and it won't be big. I don't think it will be like a massive tribe. So let's clarify. Seven of Swords. Could you please clarify the Seven of Swords for my pile ones? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to let go of, pile ones? What do you need to let go of, pile ones? The Chariot. Okay. Chariot clarifying with Chariot reversed. Then we have the Two of Pentacles. That makes sense. What does my pile... Ten of Cups. What does my pile ones need to let go of? The Daughter of Wands. And the Mother of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, I personally can see why I couldn't finish this reading the other day. Because I was going through my own stuff. The full blood moon eclipse was bringing its own shit for me, man. So I think what's going on here is that, you know, things haven't moved fast. They've kind of been a slow moving energy where it's almost like, you know, you've been like kind of wanting to go forward, but you haven't been able to, because, you know, you've just kind of been blocked, basically. And the unrest would say to me is the unrest here is the instability, the inability to be able to kind of hold a balance and find happiness in a way. What's really interesting is that it's almost like the Emperor holds the key. The Emperor holds the key to the happiness. It is upright, which is really ironic. And then we've got the High Priestess with the Daughter of Wands. Why did I say that was ironic? Because it's almost like, I wouldn't say it's a facade, because it's not, because I'm getting a very much Ten of Pentacles vibe from here. But it's not the Ten of Pentacles. Those two cards have appeared. So what makes me think that it's not Ten of Pentacles is that it's a real coping strategy that's been passed down from generation to generation, because there's no other way to like kind of work through this. It's not trying to make yourself feel better by keeping up appearances. It's more about, you can't cope, so let me just do everything I can that is supposed to make me happy. I hope that makes sense, because it is a bit confusing, this reading. the Daughter of Wands and the High Priestess. So that's the Page of Wands and the High Priestess. I think this is a learning curve. You know, it's all part of like learning. And then the Five of Wands with the Mother of Pentacles, the destabilization of home. What do you need to let go of? You need to let go of the way that you've done things. You have to do things a different way. As I said, and I said that before, so it's just like I'm repeating myself. What has transpired previously has led up to this situation, and I don't know, I feel like you are banging your head against a brick wall, or you're banging your head against a door that is shut. You're trying to like get this door open and it's not opening. It could be that you're trying, like what I see here is it could be family. You're trying to like get through to family and you just can't get through to them. It could be, I feel like it's family. I feel like it's family, it's a group of people, it could be work. It could be like you're trying to like make people see what you're doing, what value you give to work, and you just can't. So then you end up acting out, which is exactly like what children do, isn't it? Not to say that this is an immature step, but I'm just saying that that's, you know, if someone is not being heard, they'll do something to make sure that they are heard, isn't it? It's the same with like protests, isn't it? They will do everything they can to make sure that they are heard, particularly if they're not getting what they want to make them feel safe. So you've got to think of a different way, and you've got to let go of the fact that you want this particular outcome, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in this way. Absolutely not. It's not. And the whale energy just says to me that it's just really, you have to be really, you know, you have to be really truthful in your sonar and, you know, in your message that you give out, so that you can really, you know, embody a true spirit of love, as opposed to like anything else that is instigating any kind of conflict. Yeah, that's deep, man. That is deep. Okay, right. I've got some more cards for you. So let's have a look at what I have for you, my darlings. We have some crystal magic. Some crystals. Let's pull a crystal for you. Some crystal. Okay, what does my power one need to let go? So I hope that's clear. I think it is pretty clear. Okay, right. So we've got Tiger's Eye. Nice. So Tiger's Eye, self-confidence through God confidence. Jesus. Okay, right. No pun intended. Believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. Wow. Is that fitting on the screen? Yeah. So like, despondency is your enemy. You have to be really strong and believe that this is going to work. I don't know, maybe you're thinking this is not going to happen. Maybe you're thinking like, what's the point of me carrying on? What's the point of me doing this stuff? What's the point of me even like bothering with things if people don't listen to me? What am I going to do? Like, what's the point? I need to just carry on and just do what I'm doing. You know, yeah. Okay, so let's see what this oracle has to say. Pile ones, what do my pile ones need to let go of? What do my pile ones need to let go of? What do my pile ones need to let go of? No, I want that one. Healing. Okay, leisure activities, leisure activities, leisure activities. Okay. I think there's a need to see that what you're doing has purpose. Have kind of confidence in the good things that you're doing. Take joy in the things that you're doing and enjoy yourself. I've got a feeling that you guys are working like quite intensely, and you're just trying to make things work. You're trying to make things happen. You're trying to make things kind of, you know, it's almost like you're trying to like shove a square peg into a round hole. So make sure that you kind of are looking after yourself and taking care of yourself and doing nice things for yourself, okay? What does my pile 1 need to let go of? Okay. So, I look for positive aspects in every experience. That's exactly what I just said. Okay, so within every particle of the universe okay, this is a bit difficult to say. Within every particle of the universe is that which is wanted and the lack of it. By looking for the positive aspects of whatever you are giving attention to, you maintain your connection to well-being. This is like the cards of Abraham. I don't know if you know like about this channeler called Abraham. And it's like Esther and Jerry Hicks, and it's their cards. And they sometimes speak a little bit like cryptic, but I think they're the best out of like all of the channelers in my opinion. But positive aspects, that's what I was getting. You have to look for the positive in every negative. It's going to be difficult because I think that you're dealing with quite an intense situation. But anyway, as I said, like take what resonates, discard the rest. You know, if this reason doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But I think that, you know, I think you've come to this reading for a reason. Okay, so this is just quite a straight up answer for the reading, or a straight up kind of what is it? Just like kind of summary of the reading. So yeah, and it's pretty full on, so just to let you know that there is profanity, but hey, if you know my readings, profanity is not a big deal. Anyway, here we are. So what do you need to let go of? Have you eaten? You're acting like a big ass baby. You need food in your belly, eat a fucking taco. And if you don't like okay, so what I get from this, right? And here, these last 3 cards that we've pulled is about you taking care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself. Because right now, like what's going on is like, I feel there is this kind of like need to keep on going, to keep on the wheel like the hamster. And really what you need to do is you just need to take care of yourself and enjoy the life that you're living. Because before you know it, it's gone, you know? So let go of the insecurities of other people and the things that other people bring to a situation, and just embrace your own self. And I know it's hard because you've got all of this shit that's connected to like generational trauma and people that are around you and whatnot, and there may be people that are close to you and you can't get out of these like dramatic kind of things. I mean, this is a bit dramatic with the 10 of Cups, but generally it's not really that dramatic. It's just interesting how we've got like these lights here, I think, in terms of that. But I think it's more about where you put your attention, it grows. So it's about redirection of attention, understanding what's truly important, making sure that you're enjoying your life rather than focusing on the things that you don't have. And I think things will be a lot easier. And this moon should help you to at least get rid of some patterning that has been there. Pile 1. God. This reading was a bit of a love slap for me. But I really hope you enjoyed it. It was cool. It was cool. I'm a little bit like, okay, Reena. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, night or day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. Thank you so much. Please do like, subscribe, all that good stuff, share. And let me know if there's any readings that you'd like me to do. And I will see you soon. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Hi, Pal 2. Welcome to your reading. So you chose this gorgeous rose quartz. What do you need to let go of? Your heart. What's going on in your heart? It's not quite as clear, if I'm honest. Let's have a look at what animal. No, hold on. Let me sit with it a bit. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to let go of? There's something about an idea of something, which, I mean, God, it's very similar to pile one, but like they needed to get rid of an idea that they had in their head about something. But this is about expectation. And I mean, it's, as I said, it was the same for pile one, but like there's different nuances. Wow, moth. Okay, and it is reversed. And I know that these cards do come like with reversed meaning, and it's air. So with that being said, what I know about this animal or this creature is that it comes out at night, and it's one of those animals that, yeah, they come out at night, but it also is, it doesn't last very long. Like, they're not very, it's the lunar moth is quite ephemeral. And it's beautiful. Like, this particular one is so stunning. But there's this sense of impulsiveness, hastiness, and wishful thinking. So when it's out of balance, it idealizes others and is jittery. Oh, I should have read it, really. God, I hate that. I closed the book before I actually read it. Do you know what? That happened twice. So basically, I was too hasty. I put down the crystal before I actually had a chance to feel it, and then I shut the book on this before I had a chance to read it properly. I just read what I thought I needed to see, and then that was it. So there, I think therein is the lesson, that you have to be really mindful that you don't miss out on important information because you feel that that's what you need to hear, and then that's it. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. The moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practicing seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. I hear that. So to bring this back into balance is to finish a project. Okay, so what do you need to let go of? Oh, okay. I don't particularly, I think this was a stone that was given to me by a very dear person. And I mean, when I look at it, it's nothing like, this is probably one of my favorite rose quartz stones because it's so like gemmy, it's like really pretty, it's like, it's a high quality rose quartz stone. But when you look at this stone, it's kind of like, it doesn't feel like there's much there. It feels a bit plain Jane. A bit like mundane. Not very exciting. And I think that's what this is about. We need to really look deep within to have a look at the medicine properly before we discard it. Because there is a tendency to be quite, what's the word? I was going to say flirtatious, which is interesting. Well, I mean, flirtatious, what I'm trying to think of is like there's a non-committal energy around it, isn't it? It's a bit elusive. It's a bit like flaky, isn't it? That's what I'm feeling about this energy. And you know, with this moth in particular, I've seen videos of this moth and it's so beautiful. Like, it's stunning. So you have to take your time with it. You have to take your time to like enjoy the beauty of this moth and how it really kind of embodies itself. And this is earth, like this is air and earth. So there's something about being grounded in reality to be able to observe that, so that you can really appreciate the, like the, you know, the moment, basically. There's something about looking at the beauty of the moment. So what you need to let go of is any expectations that you have for something else within the moment. That's what it's feeling like. Okay, this is a big chunky pile of cards. I have already shuffled them quite a bit already off camera, like earlier on, but I will try again. Because as you can see, there's quite a lot of them. I don't know, I think there's, don't know how many, but they are really good, and I haven't used them that much, so I wanted to do that. Okay, what is my pile 2 letting go of? What is my pile 2 letting go of? What do they need to let go of? What do they need to let go of? Can you tell me what they need to let go of, please? What do my pile 2s need to let go of? I love that only one came out. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Dill. Wow. Anja, heart chakra. Anja, which is the third eye. Gemini, and then Mercury, and then it's also, this is spirit actually. This symbol here, it refers to spirit. So, I mean, dill, I only know dill of like it going with fish. So let's see what the wonderful book has to say about it, because there's a beautiful saying that goes with each of these that the guy who made these cards channeled. Hey, know it all, there's more to learn. I like that. Third eye chakra. You have the answers you need. Pause to let them surface. Something is not flowing through your body properly and needs attention. A loss of interest somewhere is causing stagnation in your life. Look for a little blessing today. Do not focus too much on the morose aspects of life. Are you working hard and not enjoying yourself? Rediscover your sense of fun. Find something new to ignite your curiosity about the world. Keep learning. Go outside, take some deep breaths, and experience the magic around every corner. Embrace me. You have a strong curiosity for life. You've lost an interest for learning, whether that be your studies or your innate curiosity about the world. And it's saying here, diffuse dill to promote luck, protection, and childlike curiosity. Adding a drop of dill in your shoe can give you an extra boost and enhance your irresistibility. Wow. Okay. And the fairy wren is the animal guide. That's cute. So this is encouraging you to pause, just take a moment and really embrace the beauty that's all around you. So you need to let go of your hastiness, of your need to kind of, your need to get things done yesterday. That's a very flitty, flaky energy. Flitty, that's the energy I think. That's the word I'm looking for. Flitty. Flitty. Okay, right. Wow, first house. This house is the house of self and identity. Here we can see one's personality, behavior, character, physical appearance, as well as the attitude towards life. It starts with the sign known as the ascendant. Where is your ascendant? Sorry, not where. What is your ascendant? Look for some answers within your ascendant. Okay? There'll be some answers within your ascendant. And just on the bottom of the deck, we had Scorpio that just turned up. So that might be something there for you, pile 2. Okay, so let's have a look. What do you need to let go of? What do my pile 2s need to let go of? What do my pile 2s need to let go of? What do my pile 2s need to let go of? Thank you, dear Spirit, for allowing me to channel these messages. Thank you so much. What do my wonderful pile 2s need to let go of? Okay, so we've got the 5 of Pentacles. We've got the Page of Cups. That's so cool. I like that. We've got the Sun reversed. We've got the Fool. And we have the Knight of Swords reversed. Okay, so what I see is there may be a comparison that's happening. I think you might be comparing yourself to people and things and thinking that you need to get things done, you need to do things, you need to, yeah. Like you're not happy with what you've got. So you need to kind of get things done. And it's kind of, I mean, it's triggering some kind of real understanding about things. I mean, it's good that you've got the 5 of Pentacles there reversed, because that says to me that you're coming out of a sense of like, of loans, of feeling sorry for yourself, of thinking that, you know, you're lonely, thinking that you don't have what you need. But it's still not making you entirely happy. I mean, I'll be honest with you, what do you need to let go of? I think it's just that you need to slow down, pile 2. You need to slow down a bit. I mean, I don't think that really there is anything too major. The only thing I would say here is this is a great card. I do think there may be, if it's in the context of us saying like you need to let go of something, I don't know, you just maybe just need to be a little bit more cautious. That's what I would say. A little bit more cautious. And I think like you need to learn about the situation that you're in. So take time to recognize like parts of the situation and how that responds to you, how you respond to it. I would also say that the first house would give me, like, I think that the first house is about, you know, you kind of readjusting your personality in a way to be able to recognize how you approach things. Because I don't know, maybe there was like this way that you did things, like maybe you were just like kind of, you know, you just kind of just got on and did things, and you know, it was fine. There is a very airy, kind of fiery, a bit airy kind of energy here. And impulsive. Yeah, impulsive. That's what I'm getting. Okay, I think I see what it is. I think you are continuing to do things and kind of like consistently distracting yourself from stuff. And you need to take time in order to like just reassess what's going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if that feels alien to you. That feels like, what are you talking about, Reena? Like, do I really need to do that? I feel like everything is fine. But I don't know, there's this sense of unfulfillment here. You're not feeling 100% happy. So I feel like some of you may continue to start, you might start new things all the time, and you might be like on this kind of road of discovery where you're trying to find things that fulfill you, and then they end up not. And you're like, okay, and then you go into this kind of like process where you're thinking about it and that you shouldn't have rushed into it, and then you kind of start the cycle again where you're like, okay, I'll try something new. Let's try something that I can learn with. Okay, yeah, this is really kind of like inspiring me. I can kind of go with this, but then you don't really learn too much about it. You just kind of do it, and then the sun reversed kind of pops up. And it's like, oh, this is okay. It's not too bad. At least I'm doing something with my time. Da, da, da. And then it's like, let me try something else. I get distracted. Let me try another thing. And then it's like, oh, okay. That's not it. Oh, well, let's try another thing. Do you know what I mean? Because it's interesting. Like the dill kind of is saying about just slow down with what it is. The moth is saying slow down. The first house is saying just take time with yourself and really think about what it is exactly that you really want. Does that make sense? So let's have a look at what the clarifiers are for this. You know, randomly, like, my sink will just let out water and it scares the bejesus out of me, and it just happened just now, and I just had to just try and control myself from not screaming out loud just then. But anyway, that was funny. Right, so let's clarify this Five of Pentacles. What do my pile twos need to let go of? Look at that, the Four reversed. The Page of Cups is clarified by the Magician reversed. Aye, okay, yeah. The Sun is reversed. Oh, sugar, okay. That's the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. So you got the last two cards, exactly the same cards as what pile one got, except they're opposite. Right. They got, I think, no, they got 10 here actually. You got the 10 of Cups and it's upright. Okay, I think what's happening here is avoidance. This is avoidance strategy. So a Four reversed covering the Five of Pentacles. By the way, this is one of my favourite Fools ever. It's the cutest thing ever. Oh, I love it. I haven't used this deck for a while. I mean, Four reversed, the Five of Pentacles, that is going forward with some kind of experience. You know that certain things work. You know that certain things, you know that certain things kind of are going to work one way. You know what you like, you know what you don't like. You know that, okay, you know that maybe you tried roller skating and you were like, I don't think that's for me, but I do really like some kind of sports that are like that. So maybe I could try skateboarding, that kind of thing. But you do kind of recognize, okay, maybe I don't really want to fall over. So actually I might try something else that might be a bit safer. And then that's the kind of knowledge that you're going forward with something. With the Page of Cups reversed. Okay, so I think that there's two instances here. Only take what resonates, discard the rest. Resonates even. So I think there is like you trying to heal from something. It may be that you had like a past relationship or something that, or maybe there was an energy that was in your life that was really manipulative and dark. And there was a person that you really wanted to get away from. So this is what you're doing. And maybe they said something to you. So maybe they said to you like something really shitty, like, oh, it could be like a past relationship. And when they say to you, oh, you never try anything new and you never do anything new, you're really boring. And what's happened is that you've kind of been like, right, okay, I'm going to show, like, I'm not really boring. I am a really exciting person. I'm really cool. So now I'm going to go and do the exact opposite of that. And I think it's kind of like fed itself as a form, like we call it in shamanism an introject. So it basically feeds like a kind of negative pattern of behavior. And it isn't like a necessarily like, it's more of a threshold keeper. So it's doing what it's doing to protect you. But actually it's come from like a negative source. Like it's because you're acting from a place of lack as opposed to acting from a place of, you're trying to fill a hole basically. So by doing all of these things and flitting from one thing to the next and having this kind of avoidant energy, it's because you're trying to avoid looking and dealing with this kind of gaping hole that's within you. That's what it feels like. And this hole was created by someone. I do think it's like a single person. I do think it's either like a bad relationship or someone that was just quite manipulative. It could have been a female figure with this Mother of Pentacles here. It could be that. It could have been a female figure that wasn't sure of her own life, you know. Not necessarily a mother, but it could have been. It could have been. Yeah, it was like a maternal figure that, or like some kind of female that was supposed to be a like a role model of stability, and she wasn't. You know, the Mother of Pentacles reversed is the Queen of Pentacles reversed. That's someone who's supposed to have it all together and they don't, and who is female. You know, the idea of the female, of the Mother of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, is the one who keeps the castle burning, the home fires burning. And she doesn't exist here. And it's like almost like a constant thing. It could also be that some of you had like a female like figure in your life that was a caregiver, and they were just very happy-go-lucky. They just didn't really they weren't stable. There's a lack of stability there, and it's kind of mirrored by all of these cards, like these 4 cards reversed. This Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, sorry. It's like nothing really excites you, nothing really like catches you, and the reason why nothing really kind of gets you in that way is because of this like flitty energy, and it is a lack of commitment. And I don't know, so you kind of know. You do know. It's interesting. So why are you not... Anyway, it doesn't mean that anything. This is what you need to let go of. You need to let go of this flitty energy. You need to stop being so flitty. That's what you need to get rid of. That's what you need to let go of. And thinking that this flitty energy is serving you, because it's not. It's actually causing you more pain than gain. I think that's pretty clear. Let's see what the gemstones have to say. What do my pile twos need to let go of? What do my pile twos need to let go of? What do my pile twos need to let go of? Thank you. Okay. Wow, so we've got yellow jasper, control issues. Utilize your God-given strength and power instead of fearing that others may try to control you. Ooh, I love it, right? You know, when the tarot, I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, and then these cards come out and they're like, there you go, Reena. There you go. Tell your collective that. Control issues. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. And when he died, all he left us was alone. Right? I mean, you know, it's that whole idea of that non-committal energy. You know, if you don't have commitment, then you don't like, you know, then you won't get upset, you won't get hurt if you have no commitments, right? I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to have to be mindful and start to commit to yourself. Start to commit to yourself, pile 2. Okay, what do pile 2 need to let go of? Right, okay. What do pile 2 need to let go of? What do pile 2 need to let go of? What do pile 2 need to let go of? What do pile 2 need to let go of? Okay, you've got 2 cards, lucky you. Right, so you've got shine and winner. Oh, I love that. Oh my God. Winner, celebrate your victory, and shine, inspire others. You may be like one of these people that don't really like acknowledge like how good things are, like how you are, how you feel, how you do. You know, you may be achieving things. You may be one of these people who are a high achiever. You end up like doing lots of different things, and like you're achieving loads, and you may be traveling all over the place. You may be like doing loads of things. You may be doing XYZ kind of activities, and it's all really cool. But then, you know, you might not be like, it might be chasing an empty dream, you know, or some kind of filling this hole. So take your time to celebrate like the things that you've done, to really look at what you've achieved and think and really kind of root it. Because you've just got like fire and air energy here, and the only like pentacles that we've got is like, you know, 5 of pentacles there, and then we've got the mother of pentacles reversed. So it's quite, as I said, flitty energy. Shine, inspire others, and I think that will help you to take, you know, to process the fact that you do inspire other people, and that will help you to like kind of really value what you've done. Wow. The harder I push against it, the more I attract its essence. Oof. And look at that. That looks really 5 of swords, 5 of pentacles, you know. Okay, so when you find some unwanted thing that you want to shout no at, shout briefly, then turn your attention to the thing you do want. Any attention to anything is practicing at the vibration that will bring it to you. Wow. Love that. So what I get here, pile 2, is runner energy. Like there's a lot of running away, runner energy. What are you running away from? Because the more you run away from something, the more it will come for you. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, right, this is the last card of your reading. It's a little bit like intense, this message. Like it's a bit like, it's like a slap across the face. But I think this whole reading's been like a bit of a slap across the face. A pile 1, that was intense. I found that intense. So yeah, this will just be like a roundup of what the reading is. But what do you need to let go of? I think you need to let go of the fact that you need to keep running. You need to keep moving. You need to keep going. But not keep going in the sense of like, oh yeah, you need to keep working. There's something that you're running away from, I feel. And I feel like you need to stop running away from it. So what do you need to let go of? The need to run. The need to keep running away from this thing. Wow. Oh, that's so cute. You are the best thing that has ever happened to you. Oh, go easy on your ass. Buy your own damn drink. Oh. I do feel that there is like this sense of like lack of value of oneself. So you're just trying to fill this kind of gap that you haven't got what you know, it's this empty hole. So just take that time and realize there's nothing to fill because you are everything, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed that. Beautiful reading. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, my darlings, have a wonderful morning, evening, night, or day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, my darlings, please share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And remember that honesty is always key. Bye. Hello, my wonderful pile 3s. How are you? And welcome to your reading. So you chose this gorgeous carnelian. Look at all those different layers in that carnelian. I fell in love with this piece, you know. I think there's something that's buried quite deep that you need to let go of, because we've got like this slice of all of the different layers here. Can you see? It's almost like there's something buried deep that needs to kind of like be let go of. I don't know, like why have we got this, you know, there's this image, but it almost like contributes to your sense of creativity. There we go. Sorry about the shake on the camera there. I think that's really interesting. Okay, so let's see what your card has to say. Whoa, eagle. Reversed. Interesting. Wow. Eagle, 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 eagle. Okay, so eagle. I think that's the last card, yeah. So all-pervading power, truth seeker, transforms karma. The noble eagle emanates light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons, which is this carnelian, you know. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. When in balance, bright, radiant, and challenges. When out of balance, controlling. I get from this energy, this is like full on like emperor energy, emperor reversed energy that I'm feeling. So the way that you kind of combat that is by stepping into the unknown. Easier said than done, right? Okay, let's have a look at some other energy for you. It's really interesting. Already I'm starting to get a feel for your reading, and I feel that you're like a mixture of pile 1 and pile 2. If you're drawn to any of those readings, I mean that, like, whenever I say that in readings, by the way, and I don't know if some of you like choose other piles, if I ever say that you remind me of other piles, that's a kind of like hint, like go and watch those piles if you want to, go for it, you know, just get a cup of tea and just sit down and read it and watch it and see what comes out. What does my pile 3 need to let go of? What does my pile 3 need to let go of? As you can see, this is quite a few cards, so bear with me. What does my pile 3 need to let go of? What does my pile 3 need to let go of? That's way, like, look at that. So that says that you need to let go of quite a bit. What does my pile 3 need to let go of? That's too many. What does my pile 3 need to let go of? What does my pile 3 need to let go of? We've got blue tansy, and it's Aquarius, Uranus, the third eye chakra, and then it's also water. Interesting, that's water and it's Aquarius. Okay. That is water, isn't it? Or is that fire? No, that's air, and then that other way is fire. Yeah, I think that's water. I think it's earth. I don't know. I always get confused. This is so bad. It's like they just like fly out my head. No pun intended. They literally just go whoosh out my head. Blue tansy. Let's see. It's water. It is water. So you must not be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. Okay. Are you feeling overburdened with too much on your schedule? There are times of peace and relaxation ahead. Stop putting off what feeds you, stop putting off what feeds your soul due to day-to-day obligations. Start walking towards your dreams each day. What will your legacy be? Seek counsel to those who are old, from those who are older and wise. Show your skin some love. Interesting. Embrace me. You are gracefully creating new space in your life to welcome your dreams into reality. If you reject it, you tend to ignore or forget about your dreams, or have a choice to give them up, or have chosen to give them up. Oof. That definitely resonates with that. And carnelian is very much that as well. Okay. So you must not be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. Okay. So, what I'm getting here from these two cards is that there is a escapism that's happening here. And I mean, with pile 2, there was an escapism. Pile 1, there was also that kind of thing of being dogged down in day-to-day life. Here there is a sacrifice, like you feel that you have to sacrifice stuff. You feel like you have to sacrifice yourself and your needs, and you may be thinking, I'm not sacrificing my needs, I'm doing what I want. But are you really? That's the question. Is the mundane of the day-to-day the distraction from what you really want to do? Because you feel that in this lifetime you're not going to be able to do what you want? Is that what's happening? What does pile 1 need to let go of? God, there is so much. It keeps coming up. You need to let go of quite a lot, man. What does pile 1 need to let go of? Waxing gibbous, alignment, refinement, nurture, patience, evolution. You know. You fully know. Like, you know what you need to give up. You know what you're sacrificing. You do. And you honestly don't believe that you can achieve it. That's so interesting. Tell me more. Okay, right. I'm going to have a look with the tarot. What's going on? Why are you holding on to that belief? If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate, okay? Maybe this is not your pile, but this is what I'm getting, and it's quite a clear message. Because Carnelian is such a strong, like a strong crystal of the sun. It's also related to the sun, like the Dantian, the sacral chakra, the thing that where from all creativity comes from. And then we've got like a massive block here. Yet you're not, I don't know, it's like you know, but you're not going forward with it. Why? Okay, 7 of Wands reversed. What's going on? Why? What do you need to let go of? 3 of Swords. Are you like, can I just ask, right? If this doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. But like, if you're not, if you need to talk to someone, like get shit out, man. Do it. Because it feels like you need to talk about stuff. 8 of Swords. Page of Wands reversed. Okay, and the 6 of Pentacles. Oh, okay. Wow. Let me just take a sip of my tea before I go and spill it. You're really just accepting just the bare minimum, like, of your life, really, it feels like. I'll go as bold to say that. This is a big thing. I mean, it's not, okay, no, it is a big thing, because it's a life choice. Eagle is no, like, it's not a pigeon. It's an eagle. You are meant to be an eagle, and for some reason, you're not embracing that. Eagle energy doesn't business. Eagle energy doesn't play games. It goes for something, and that's it. You know, there's a reason why it's an apex predator. You know, you don't mess with the eagle, and if you are given the eagle medicine, you take it and you go for it. I think I'm talking to myself there. Like, I got given a beautiful gift of eagle feathers, and I had no idea like why I'd been given this gift. But I mean, a gift of eagle feathers, I mean, what is that about? Like, not everybody gets eagle feathers. Who the heck gets eagle feathers? And it wasn't just any eagle. This is eagle from a place where you can't, like, it's not easy to get eagle feathers from this place. So I was gifted these eagle feathers, and they are amazing, and the medicine from them is amazing. And I am doing them a disservice if I do not, like, say for example, I do not like continue to do readings on YouTube and continue to put out this gift here for you. So there's something of that that's coming across, because there's this idea that you are kind of self-medicating in a way, kind of just, you know, going through the motions, doing what you have to do, you know, just doing the same thing kind of over and over again where it feels comfortable and it's fine. But actually your destiny is something that is much higher. It's actually a much more, there's something that you need to fulfill. Absolutely. And I don't know, right? It feels that you have allowed the fears and the naysayers to say what they think. You know, you've allowed them to let them dictate your life. I don't know who it was. We might find out in a bit. I don't know. In a shamanic way, and I think I mentioned this in one of the other readings, like they are called introjects. So they are the voices that are said by, or like the voices, maybe you've heard a comment by someone. You know, if I was to read the negative comments that like I got on my channel, I really wouldn't. And they used to get me down. But like now I just kind of like, honestly, I just delete them. Because I ain't got no time for them. I ain't got no time for them. Either that or I don't read the comments. And I want to read the comments. I want to read the good comments, you know. I want to read that. I'm already my own worst enemy, you know. So I don't need that. So I think that what's happening is that there has been, like, in order for you to cope, like, with people not being, you know, in, like, not being there for you, you kind of like, all right, okay, I'm not even going to think about that. I'm not even going to think about that. And it served you. Like, let's be straight here. Like, it has served you for a purpose. And that's what I'm finding in terms of like a theme throughout this whole reading. That these patterns of behavior that you need to let go of, they have served you. They have served you. That's what they do. But like, and it's really interesting because the concept of soul retrieval is very interesting here. Like, now it's time for you to reintegrate a part of yourself that wants to come back and wants to, you need to reclaim like a part of your power back. The power is calling for you to come back. This power is calling you for it to call back. It's wanting to come back to you. So it's about you being able, and the gap is there. Like, the gap is there. The healing's taken place. There is coping strategies, but that's fine because that's what happens. As I said, like in the other reading, we call it threshold energies. So it's things that we do in order to, like, you know, maybe we got hurt in the past and then we do things to kind of cope with that. And they're not necessarily bad. They're just like things that we do in order to cope. And then when it's time for us to realize our real true power, that's when we have to step into that responsibility, which is intimidating. But you are playing it small. You're playing it small. Page of Wands is like doing, for me in this context, it's doing something that isn't very fulfilling. It could be like, not even fulfilling, it's easy. It's like you could be in a job that is really easy. You get paid a decent wage for it. You get all right for it. You do your thing, but you know that you are capable of so much more. So it's about being able to step into that role. Okay, let me clarify. You need to let go of playing small because it's like you're this eagle and now you're in a cage or you're in like a zoo. You need to come out of there. The Chariot reversed, that's the same as pile 1. If you feel to go and watch pile 1, go and watch it. Same with pile 2, but more pile 1, I think. Wow, all the same cards. Okay, as all the piles. Okay, this is the 10 of Cups, but it's reversed. Interesting. As I said, like, this is a real sacrifice of dreams. Like, you've been like, right, okay, I'm not going to be able to achieve that, so I'm just going to have to go through this lifetime just doing what I'm doing, and then that's fine. Wow. And even if you do have money, or like you're financially stable, you're still not, you know that there's something not 100%. Yeah, there's a real lack of hope here. My God. Okay, 10 of Pentacles reversed. Star reversed. Some of you, it could be that you were in quite a difficult family dynamic and you've decided to break away from that. And then it's kind of like, okay, so what kind of hope do I have? I have to like kind of live this mediocre life because I've had to do that. And I'm not really able to step into my power. That might be for some of you. Six of Pentacles, okay. Nice. Son of Wands, look at that. It's so like, and that's the Page of Wands. No, that's the Knight of Wands. Love it. Okay. You know what, yeah, right? You thrive in that situation where you're able to do that. Like, you do enjoy it. I'm not saying that you don't. This is so threshold energy. I never really kind of understood the concept as clearly as I do through doing this reading. It's so nice because even in doing these readings, I kind of expand my experience. I learn about how certain concepts work within shamanic, like shamanically. And it's so interesting to see that. How this part of you, you know, you really have to let go of this, because that was the whole theme with this moon. The moon was very, and what I did is I actually did this reading previously and I started doing it and I was just exhausted and I had to stop. And then it took me another 2 days until like the moon was over. And then today's the next day, like the day after the moon, the full moon. It was the full blood moon lunar eclipse. And because I had my own integration to do with my own stuff. And now I'm seeing it really clearly here, like in terms of this threshold, a guardian that you've had. That's really helped you, you know, it's really helped you to live life. But now, you know, there's just been such a lack. Let me go through this a bit more in depth. So, you know, it's just like, there's not stagnant energy, but it's like pent up energy that's needed to go somewhere. And what's happened is that it ends up expressing itself in these spaces where, like, you know, it could be a place where you work, and then that's the example that's coming to mind, like a place where you work and you know that you're really good at what you do, and then you kind of like have a really nice vivacious energy that kind of resonates in that space of work, but it's like marred with this sense of sadness where you're not really learning anything new, and you know it's stuff that you've already done before, and you know you kind of think, because I'm trying to like do what I want to do, you know, it's kind of like breaking out of this cycle of like trying to adhere to certain things. So maybe you were like, I don't know, maybe you were like a CEO of a company or something like that, or you were quite high up within a company, or you were working your way up within this company, and then you decided, actually, no, I don't like what's happening here. It's not really making me feel that very happy, so I need to go and do something else. And now you've taken a bit of a pay cut, and now you're doing something that's kind of not really within your skill set, but it's okay, it pays all right, you know. And it's, you know, there's something that kind of like is urging you to like move forward, to make things bigger, to do something more than what you're doing currently. However, it could be with your own business as well. So, and what's interesting is that there's this 10 of cups here, and it's reversed. So it says to me that you are chasing happiness, like you do want something that's more happy, but I don't know if you fully believe that you're capable of achieving that, because you're thinking about how things are going to be monetarily, like you're thinking about how, sorry about that noise, you're thinking about how you're going to survive. You know, you're thinking, and that's the whole thing with the eagle, you know. And like, you know, it's really interesting because an eagle is born, but it doesn't think about like, oh my God, am I going to be able to find enough mice to feed myself when I'm like, you know, older? It just lives. And, but then it doesn't play small in order to live. And I think with this Son of Wands energy and that eagle, they don't match. Like, this is the king. This is the page, the knight. So that can give you some kind of context in like what kind of energy you're living in. And you need to let go of this energy. You need to let go of that. Otherwise you can't embrace that. Peridot. Life lessons. You can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying they know the lesson. By praying to know the lesson and blessing they contain. Okay, you can break free from recurring negative patterns by praying to know the lesson and blessing that they contain. I think there should be a that in there, but never mind, maybe my English is not as good. But yeah, wow, I love these cards. They're so cool. Okay, let's keep going. So what do you need to let go of? You need to let go of playing small. You need to be big. It's interesting how we have these, like, you know, you've got the Eagle, you've got the Ten of Cups. It's almost like this Leo energy, this strong Leo energy, which says to me, and I know that the Ten of Cups isn't really that, but this particular Ten of Cups shows me that. And then the Star is reversed. Star could be about, like, you know, being on stage, or, you know, person who is like Leo North Node, or, like, you know, there's somebody who's supposed to be in the public eye, or somebody who's supposed to be out there in the front line, who's supposed to be up high and is not. Wow, inner strength. Be your own cheerleader. So even when people are not, like, they're not giving you the support that you need, you have to be really mindful of your own, of how you can be your own cheerleader, how you can show that you are worthy of these things, that you are worthy of this strength, you know. You do the world a disservice by playing small. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, you got 2. These are quite hefty, these ones, so it must be that you need the message. So here we are. Okay, as I breathe deeply, I feel myself thrive. Thriving is as natural as breathing itself. So thriving, not surviving. By relaxing often and breathing deeply, your natural thriving is enhanced. Love that. And then we've got this one. My health and well-being are natural forever. You can appropriately depart your body without illness or pain. You do not need to attract illness or pain as an excuse to leave your body. You are free to choose otherwise. That is deep. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Wow. That is deep. You know what I got from that? You know, like sometimes, like, I don't know, when people are complaining about their back, their neck, their knees, their ankles, this, that, the other. I always used to remember, like, looking at people that did that. Not to say that it isn't a bad thing, you know, that it isn't a serious issue, but there's a difference between people who complain about it, and then there are a difference between people who just get on with life. And I've met plenty of people that are in so much less of a fortunate position than I am, and they complain far less than I do. And I'm just, like, marveling at their ability to embrace life in the way that they do. And that well-being in their head, in their mind, in their attitude, in their positive energy that they spread is just so infectious. It's beautiful to behold. So that's what I'm getting from that. So it's about you. It's about you and your attitude. Wow, this is deep. Okay, right. So this is the last card to consolidate everything that we've gone through today. What do you need to let go of? You need to let go of playing small and really, really identify that your attitude is everything. This card will just tell you a short, sharp answer. It's a little bit, it might have a little bit of profanity, but hey, I'm no stranger to that. So, and you shouldn't be if you watch my readings. So here we are. Okay, no. I just need one, just one. Yeah, I'll take that one. Babe, you do you, babe. You do you. Stop trying to change people. That shit never works. You do you. Pile 3. I hope you like that reading. That was a cool reading. Little love slap. This whole like 3 card, all 3 piles have been love slaps. So I haven't been hard on you. I've been hard on everybody. Pile 1 was the hardest, and I'm always pile 1. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you liked it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Please, again, only take what resonates, discard the rest. Remember, this is only a reading on YouTube, and if you want something deeper, then we can go into it. You can always contact me and we can go in there. But otherwise, have a wonderful morning, evening, night or day, whenever you're choosing to watch this. And remember, my darlings, honesty is always key. Bye.